Did you know that in the last 6 months, California's cost of living has surged by over 12%, while thousands of families are being forced out of their homes because they simply cannot afford rent? Experts are warning that this isn't just a temporary spike, it's a warning sign that the state's economy could collapse within 30 days, leaving millions scrambling for survival. Shelves may go empty, prices could skyrocket, and your paycheck might not stretch as far as it does today. Imagine waking up one morning to find that your usual grocery store is bare, gas prices have doubled, and jobs in your industry are disappearing overnight. This isn't a dystopian movie, it's happening in real time, and most Californians aren't prepared. Families across the state are quietly facing a crisis that could shake their lives to the core. In this video, we'll reveal 10 shocking reasons why California's economy is teetering on the edge and what you must do in the next 30 days to protect your family. Some of these reasons might surprise you, and a few may change the way you think about your money, your home, and your future forever. Number 1. Skyrocketing housing costs. California has long been famous for its high housing prices, but the situation has now reached a breaking point. Over the past year, median home prices in major cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego have soared beyond what most families can realistically afford. Renters are facing double-digit increases, and even modest apartments now cost more than many households' entire monthly income. For families on fixed budgets, this isn't just stressful, it's downright dangerous, leaving them vulnerable to financial collapse. Experts warn that the housing market bubble could burst at any moment, sending property values tumbling and creating a ripple effect across the economy. Homeowners who once felt secure are now discovering that their investments are less stable than they thought, while renters are being squeezed harder than ever. The stark reality is that without proactive measures, many families may find themselves struggling to pay for basic shelter within weeks. So what can you do right now to protect your family? First, consider exploring alternative housing options, such as co-living spaces or relocating to more affordable areas nearby. If you own a home, think about refinancing before rates climb even higher, or diversifying your investments to avoid losing everything in a market crash. For renters, building an emergency fund and reducing non-essential expenses can provide a crucial buffer against sudden price shocks. The key is preparation and awareness. By understanding the forces driving California's housing crisis and taking concrete steps now, you can reduce the risk of financial devastation. The clock is ticking, and families who wait too long may be facing a future filled with uncertainty and hardship. Don't let yourself be caught off guard. The time to act is now. We put countless hours into digging up these shocking truths for you. If this video gave you real insight, hit subscribe with just one click, and drop a comment telling us how you plan to protect your family. Your voice matters, and we want to hear your strategies. Number 2. Job market collapse. California has long been seen as the land of opportunity, but today, that image is under serious threat. Across tech hubs, entertainment centers, and service industries, thousands of workers are facing massive layoffs. Companies that once promised stability are now cutting jobs at alarming rates, leaving families unsure of how they'll pay next month's bills. Even highly skilled professionals are not immune. Job security has become a luxury few can afford. The numbers are staggering. Reports show that unemployment claims have spiked dramatically, and industries that drove California's growth for decades are now struggling to survive. The ripple effects are enormous. When people lose jobs, spending drops, local businesses suffer, and the economy starts to spiral. Families are suddenly confronting a harsh reality. The paycheck they relied on may disappear overnight. So, what can you do to protect yourself? First, it's essential to diversify your income streams. Don't rely solely on a single employer. Consider freelance work, remote opportunities, or side businesses that can provide extra financial security. Investing time in new skills and certifications can also make you more resilient, opening doors to industries less affected by layoffs. Additionally, maintaining an emergency fund that can cover several months of expenses is no longer optional, it's a necessity for survival. California's job market collapse isn't just a statistic, it's a warning. Families who take action now, who prepare for uncertainty and adapt to change, will stand a much better chance of weathering the storm. Waiting until the crisis hits could be too late, leaving countless households scrambling with nowhere to turn. Awareness, preparation, and quick action are your best defenses against this looming economic disaster. We've poured hours of research and effort into exposing these shocking truths. Subscribe with just one click, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us how your family is preparing. Your story could help others survive too. Number 3. Skyrocketing energy prices. California is facing an energy crisis that's hitting families in their wallets harder than ever. Over the past year, electricity and gas prices have surged by over 20%, and experts warn that this trend is only accelerating. For households already struggling with rent, groceries, and daily expenses, these rising energy costs are becoming unbearable. Rolling blackouts, power shortages, and extreme weather events are making it clear that relying on the grid as it is may no longer be safe. The situation is particularly dire for those living in urban centers, where high energy demand combines with aging infrastructure. Families report shocking monthly bills, sometimes exceeding their rent, while small businesses struggle to keep the lights on. It's a chain reaction. As energy costs rise, everything from transportation to food prices is affected, creating a domino effect that threatens to destabilize entire communities. So how can you protect your family now? Start by reducing energy consumption. Switch to LED lighting, unplug devices when not in use, and invest in smart thermostats. For those who can, consider alternative energy solutions like solar panels or home batteries. Not only do they reduce costs long-term, they provide a buffer in emergencies. Simple changes, like cooking efficiently, weatherproofing your home, and using energy-efficient appliances, can make a significant difference. The harsh truth is that California's energy crisis is not slowing down, and families who ignore it risk facing bills they simply cannot pay. Awareness, preparation, and action now can mean the difference between surviving the coming storm or being swept up in it. Take control today before the lights, and your finances, are suddenly gone. We spent countless hours uncovering these alarming truths. Hit subscribe with just one click, and leave a comment sharing how you plan to cut energy costs. Your tips could help countless other families survive this crisis. Number 4. Food inflation and supply shortages. Families across California are feeling the pinch at the grocery store like never before. In the last year, food prices have skyrocketed by more than 15%, and basic staples such as milk, bread, and eggs are becoming shockingly expensive. But the problem isn't just price, it's availability. Supply chains are strained, and shelves are increasingly empty, leaving families scrambling to find even the essentials. For many, this is no longer just an inconvenience, it's a looming crisis. The reasons behind these shortages are complex. Droughts, wildfires, and extreme weather are disrupting agriculture, while transportation bottlenecks slow deliveries across the state. At the same time, panic buying and hoarding during uncertain times only make things worse. The result? Families are being forced to spend more money for less food, and those without contingency plans are at serious risk of falling behind. So what can you do to protect your household? Start by stockpiling non-perishable foods such as rice, beans, canned goods, and freeze-dried items. Consider growing your own vegetables or joining a local community garden to ensure a reliable supply. Shopping strategically, buying in bulk, comparing prices, and timing purchases can also make a real difference. Even small changes, like meal planning and reducing food waste, can help your family stretch every dollar further. California's food system is fragile, and ignoring these warning signs could leave your family vulnerable. Preparation, awareness, and smart planning now can prevent panic later. Don't wait until the shelves are bare to act. Securing your food supply is an urgent step in weathering the economic storm. We poured hours into uncovering these shocking realities. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below with your best food-saving strategies. Your ideas could help countless families survive this crisis. Number 5. State debt and budget crisis. California is facing a financial storm that few are talking about openly. The state's debt has reached record-breaking levels, threatening essential services and putting families at risk. From education and healthcare to infrastructure and emergency response, critical systems are now under strain, and experts warn that without immediate action, the fallout could be devastating. For ordinary residents, this isn't just a number on a report. It could mean higher taxes, reduced public services, and a heavier burden on households already stretched thin. The budget crisis stems from decades of spending more than the state earns, combined with rising costs from natural disasters, social programs, and pension obligations. While politicians debate solutions, families are left feeling the squeeze, struggling to make ends meet as fees, taxes, and service costs quietly climb. The ripple effect is clear. When the state struggles financially, the economy slows, unemployment rises, and everyday life becomes more expensive and unpredictable. So, how can you protect your family from the impact of California's debt crisis? Start by tightening your personal budget and cutting non-essential expenses. Consider building an emergency savings fund to cover unexpected costs if taxes or fees rise suddenly. Keep an eye on policy changes and local news, and diversify income streams to reduce dependence on volatile sectors or government programs. Families who act now, planning ahead and reducing financial risk, will have a stronger chance of weathering the storm. The reality is harsh. California's state debt crisis isn't a distant problem. It's happening right now, quietly affecting millions of households. Being informed, proactive, and strategic with your finances could be the difference between stability and chaos for your family. We poured countless hours into revealing these hidden financial threats. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below on how your family is preparing. Your strategies could save someone from serious trouble. Number 6. Wildfires and climate disasters. California is no stranger to natural disasters, but in recent years, wildfires and climate-related emergencies have reached unprecedented levels. Every fire season, thousands of acres are destroyed, homes are lost, and families are forced to evacuate with barely a moment's notice. The economic cost is staggering: billions of dollars in damages, lost business, and disrupted livelihoods. For ordinary households, these disasters are more than news stories. They are a real and immediate threat to safety, property, and financial stability. Experts warn that climate change is making these events more frequent and more intense. Heat waves, droughts, and erratic weather patterns strain California's resources and infrastructure, leaving communities vulnerable. When disasters strike, insurance premiums rise, energy and water costs increase, and emergency services become overwhelmed. Families who are unprepared face the very real possibility of losing not just property, but access to essentials like food, electricity, and clean water. So how can you protect your family now? First, create a detailed emergency plan that includes evacuation routes, communication strategies, and a supply kit with food, water, and medical essentials. Consider home safety upgrades, such as fire-resistant materials and defensible landscaping, to reduce risk. Stay informed about local alerts, and maintain an emergency savings fund to cover unexpected costs. Communities that prepare ahead of time are far better positioned to survive the devastation with minimal disruption. California's climate disasters aren't slowing down. Ignoring them puts your family at serious risk. Preparation, awareness, and practical action are your best defenses. Don't wait until the next fire or storm hits to realize you weren't ready. Taking steps now can save lives, property, and financial security. We poured endless effort into exposing these hidden dangers. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below with your family's disaster prep tips. Your insights could help others survive the next crisis. Number 7. Housing market bubble risks. California's housing market has long been considered a cornerstone of wealth, but today, it teeters dangerously close to a full-blown bubble. Home prices have skyrocketed far beyond what most families can afford, driven by speculation, low inventory, and investor demand. Experts warn that this unsustainable growth cannot last forever. When the bubble bursts, it could trigger a chain reaction affecting millions of homeowners, renters, and the broader economy. Signs of trouble are already visible. Many properties are overvalued, mortgages are ballooning, and families are stretching their budgets to breaking points just to stay in their homes. Should the bubble collapse, property values could plummet, leaving homeowners underwater on loans and erasing decades of savings. Renters would also feel the pinch, as market instability drives landlords to hike prices or sell properties, reducing affordable housing options even further. So, what can families do to protect themselves? First, consider diversifying your investments instead of relying solely on real estate to build wealth. If you own property, avoid over-leveraging and explore options to refinance at safer rates while they are still available. For renters, having a financial cushion is critical. This ensures you can navigate sudden rent hikes or housing scarcity without being trapped. Awareness of market trends, careful planning, and smart financial decisions can make the difference between security and disaster. The reality is stark. California's housing market bubble is not a distant worry. It's an urgent threat that could impact millions of families in weeks or months. Preparation, foresight, and proactive financial planning are the keys to surviving the potential collapse and securing your family's future. We put countless hours into uncovering these hidden housing risks. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below with your thoughts or strategies. Your insights could help someone avoid financial ruin. Number 8. Infrastructure failures. California's roads, bridges, and public transport systems have long been vital to the state's economy. But today, aging infrastructure is starting to crumble under pressure. Decades of underinvestment, combined with extreme weather events and rapid population growth, have created a ticking time bomb. From pothole-ridden highways to outdated water systems, families are beginning to feel the consequences of a system pushed beyond its limits. The problem goes beyond inconvenience. Failing infrastructure directly impacts daily life and the economy. Traffic jams, transit delays, and unsafe bridges cost families time and money, while local businesses struggle with logistics and rising operational costs. In extreme cases, infrastructure failure can disrupt emergency services, leaving communities vulnerable when disasters strike. The economic ripple effect is enormous. When infrastructure falters, businesses lose productivity, supply chains slow down, and households bear the cost. So how can your family prepare for the ripple effects of failing infrastructure? Start by planning alternative transportation routes and keeping an emergency travel kit in your vehicle. Consider investing in tools and supplies for home resilience, like backup generators or water storage, in case power or water systems fail. Stay informed about local infrastructure projects, and budget extra time and resources to account for delays or disruptions. Communities that plan ahead are far better positioned to weather the daily challenges and potential emergencies caused by crumbling infrastructure. The harsh truth is that infrastructure failure is not just a future concern. It's happening now, quietly straining families and local economies. By taking proactive steps today, you can reduce risk, maintain mobility, and protect your household from unexpected shocks. Awareness and preparation are essential to survive California's growing infrastructure crisis. We've invested hours uncovering these hidden risks. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below on how your family is preparing for infrastructure failures. Your ideas could save someone time, money, or even their safety. Number 9. Rising taxes and fees. California's economy is under immense pressure, and one of the most direct ways families are feeling it is through rising taxes and fees. From property taxes and sales taxes to vehicle registration fees and utility surcharges, the cost of living is quietly creeping higher every month. For households already stretched thin, these increases aren't just numbers on a bill, they represent real reductions in disposable income, making it harder to afford essentials like food, housing, and healthcare. The reasons behind these hikes are clear. To cover budget shortfalls, state debt, and infrastructure needs, the government is increasing taxes and imposing new fees. While these measures aim to stabilize the economy, they disproportionately affect ordinary families who are already struggling. Small businesses also face mounting operational costs, which are often passed on to consumers, creating a vicious cycle of rising expenses and shrinking budgets. So how can you protect your family from the impact of rising taxes and fees? Start by reviewing your finances carefully and identifying areas to cut unnecessary spending. Consider consulting a financial advisor to explore legal ways to reduce tax burdens or take advantage of deductions. For business owners, diversifying revenue streams and planning for operational costs can provide a buffer against sudden increases. Awareness and planning are key. Families who stay proactive can avoid being blindsided by sudden spikes in taxes and fees. The reality is clear: rising taxes and fees are not temporary, and ignoring them could jeopardize your family's financial stability. By preparing now, budgeting wisely, and taking strategic steps, you can maintain control over your finances and reduce the impact of these inevitable increases. We spent countless hours digging into these hidden financial pressures. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below on how you're handling rising taxes. Your tips could help others save thousands. Number 10. Banking and credit crunch. California's financial system, once seen as a safe foundation for families and businesses, is now under serious stress. Banks are tightening lending standards, raising interest rates, and limiting credit availability, leaving households and small businesses struggling to access the funds they need. For families relying on loans, mortgages, or credit cards, this credit crunch isn't just inconvenient, it could mean being unable to cover essential expenses or invest in opportunities that secure their future. The reasons are alarming. Rising interest rates, economic instability, and cautious lending practices have created a perfect storm, squeezing both borrowers and the broader economy. When banks reduce lending, spending slows, businesses struggle to grow, and local economies feel the ripple effect. Families that once considered credit a safety net may now find themselves vulnerable, with fewer options to manage sudden costs or emergencies. So, what can you do to protect yourself in this financial squeeze? First, focus on strengthening your personal finances, pay down high-interest debt, build a robust emergency fund, and avoid unnecessary loans. Diversifying income streams or keeping cash reserves outside traditional banking systems can also provide a buffer against sudden restrictions. Staying informed about financial trends and planning ahead will help you navigate a landscape where borrowing is no longer easy or predictable. The harsh truth is clear: California's banking system is tightening, and families who are unprepared risk being caught off guard. By taking proactive steps now, you can protect your household from financial shocks, maintain stability, and avoid being trapped by sudden credit restrictions. Preparation and awareness are your best defenses in this uncertain economic climate. We've invested countless hours uncovering these hidden financial dangers. Subscribe with just one click, and comment below with how your family is preparing for a banking crisis. Your advice could save someone from serious trouble. The reality is undeniable. California's economy is under immense pressure, and the signs are everywhere. From skyrocketing housing costs to job market collapses, from energy price surges to food shortages, families are facing challenges that could drastically change their lives within just 30 days. Add to that the looming threats of state debt, Wildfires, a housing bubble, infrastructure failures, rising taxes, and a tightening banking system, and it becomes clear that this isn't a distant problem, it's happening right now. These 10 factors don't exist in isolation. They create a domino effect, amplifying the impact on families, communities, and local economies. One crisis feeds another. Rising housing costs strain household budgets, job losses reduce spending power, and energy and food inflation make essentials unaffordable. Even small disruptions can quickly escalate into major financial emergencies if you're unprepared. But here's the crucial point: families who act now have the power to protect themselves. Awareness, preparation, and practical steps can reduce risk, safeguard finances, and ensure your household can survive even the harshest economic storms. It's time to take action. Review your finances, diversify income, stock up on essentials, plan for emergencies, and stay informed about local developments. Don't wait for the crisis to hit. The longer you delay, the harder it will be to respond. Your family's safety, security, and financial stability depend on preparation and foresight.